Welcome to Miss C's cottage, home with a sun bunny. I am Miss C. I have to tell you that I was just watching um, Russ, It's Raining Yarn, and Jax and Spring were on, and they were all working on different projects. And um, Jax was showing some of the amigurumi that she had made. And then she said something about, Yarn Doll came up and said she was working on a sun bunny. And Russ said, "A sun bunny? What's a sun bunny?" And I think half of the chat fainted. It was funny. And Russ was like, "What? What did I do?" And Jack said, "You don't know what a sun bunny is? Let me show you a sun bunny." So she went and got Polly, and she read Polly's story to Russ. And Russ said, "I think I got one of those. I think Miss C made me a rabbit." Jack said, "A sun bunny." And so Russ got up and went to go and get it. Now, his sun bunny is named, been a while. Anyway, Russ has misplaced his story. So Jack said, "Russ, I misplaced my story. So but she keeps a copy of them in a folder. So just let her know and she'll send you a copy of your story." And Russ got really excited because he had gotten one. But I'm telling you this, people, Russ was one of the first people to get a sun bunny. And at that time they weren't widely known, and they weren't as valued because people didn't know the value of them at that point. It wasn't until, I think, in my opinion, it wasn't until Butterfly Genie got hers and read her story online, Becky Sue, that they became more important to content creators than what they had been in the past. Because when Jeannie read hers, I told you God writes the stories. I make the rabbits and God writes the stories. Well, when Jeannie read hers, there were a lot of red flags in it for me, and but God knew what he was doing. And so she said, "Did you know my grandfather worked on the oil rigs in the Gulf of Mexico?" And I said, "No." "Did you know my grandpa used to call me Becky Sue?" I said, "No." "He did, but I didn't." And I don't think she'd ever mentioned it on her channel that I would have picked it up and just had it in the back of my mind and brought it forward at the right time. I don't know. Anyway, at that point, people began to realize that the stories that they were given about their sun bunnies had a more personal contact between them and God. Some of them didn't realize it, but some of them began to realize it. And that was my hope with the sun bunnies. It's once they got out there and people got a story about them, it would soften their heart and connect them with God and the love that he has to give them, unconditional love, so that they'll always know that somebody loves them. Anyway, Russ Russ in I think it's the one that was 12 days ago. It's the live where he and Jax and Spring were together in it. Anyway, he began to realize that that silly rabbit that he got in the mail from somebody called Miss C might be more important than just getting a silly rabbit in the mail. And so I made a note and I just looked it up before the live here, and I'm going to send him off a copy of his story. Can't think of the name of the. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It'll come out if you watch his show. Anyway, do you remember it? It was beautiful. It was all done in fall colors. And anyway, that's how my morning was spent. Okay, I'm going back to the very beginning. Morning, 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 Steve. And there's my Nino. He's always working. That boy works so hard. I am having a wonderful Friday, Nino, because you are here. And this is just a sit and knit. And grab yourself something to drink and grab a chair. There's my Sarah, and Alma's here today. Welcome in, Alma and Shirley Vane. I love that girl. Samantha Stewart, welcome in, sweetheart. Penny Schrum, good morning. That sounds like a new name to me. So if you are new, welcome in, welcome in. Um, Bye, Nino. Thanks for stopping in. And Candy is here. I used to watch Candy walk down the road to work, and she would film herself walking to work, and it was not a happy sight. She was not a happy camper. So I'm glad to see her in here on a Friday afternoon. And there's Nellie. I am so glad that you are here, Sister Nellie. And Eileen is here. She's in the process of sewing her first Sunbunny together. Woohoo! And 3 carrots for you. There's my Kimmer and Laura Harper. Yes, God is good. All the time he's good. We just don't see it sometimes. And Kelly Campbell, part of my clan. Marlene, how are you doing this afternoon? And there's Maureen, Marlene and Maureen next door to each other, and Shirley Bain. Special howdy back to you, Maureen. It's going to sit and crochet. You can sit and crochet, you can sit and knit, you can sit and twiddle your thumbs, you can just sit and go to sleep if you want. This is a time to come in and rest your weary bones and soak up the love. And there is Gabrielle. Shirley Bain is drinking coffee and knitting a corner to corner washcloth. You know what, Shirley? You can do that and make a whole blanket out of it. Oh, I never thought about that. Oh no, Candy. Well, you know what? I know that God has closed that door because he's got a better one opening for you. So don't lose hope. The struggle is real from day to day, but that's because Satan is just walking around waiting. He's probably going to poke some barbs at you this week until you find something better. Don't give up hope, my love. And there's Melanie J. You guys that I owe things to, I think they're going out Monday. This is new month coming up, new check coming in, and new stuff going out. KK, God is good. Praising him for answered prayer. I praise him every morning, KK, for you and the people that come to my lives. And like I said the other day, for the deer in my yard, she's been here all week. I thought I saw a fawn up in the front corner of the yard, but I haven't seen it since. And I'm not, it's a week older now, so it should be up and about, but I've not seen it. And usually, if there is a fawn and a doe in my yard, they come out and munch. They just love my loriope. I use loriope as a border around my gardens. And they just come over and run their tongue around and pull up a couple and munch, 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 and pull up a couple more. Amazing, amazing. It's a wonder I have anything out in my yard at all. But I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade it for anything. They're so delicate and so beautiful to watch. I love them. And the fact that they come to my yard, it just my home is a safe haven for me. I am safe here at this home. And I love this home. I love the people that live here. We're out in a country type setting, so We don't have to deal with a lot of things that people in the city deal with. I feel very safe here. And for the deer and the squirrels and the hawks and the black-capped chickadees and the tufted titmice and the blue-gray gnatcatchers and the cardinals that come into the feeders that are Elmo's got out and about, and a hummingbird. We have a hummingbird. Guys, if you ever get near a window, just sit for 5 minutes and look out your window. You will be amazed at what you see, and it is so calming. Okay, I've rattled on. That's your sermon for the day. I'm starting a knit top, Melanie J says. Oh, good for you. I want to knit a couple covers. And maybe just in I want to crochet some covers in cotton and maybe just filet crochet, double crochet, chain one, double crochet all the way across, and then wear like maybe a tank top under it. But I need something over to cover up all the bumps and wrinkles. As soon as I get to the end of these pages for bunnies, yes, God does answer our prayers. Sometimes he says yes, and sometimes he says no, and sometimes he says, "Are you sure? Think about that. I'll get back with you in a while." There's Tia. Welcome in, Tia. You know, anytime you do a large blanket, it's going to take you a long time. The corner to corner, yes. KK is making, I think it's 6 blankets this year for her family. She wants them done by Christmas, and I think she's already got like 4 of them done. Be My Light Crochet. That's Pat, if I'm correct. And there's Elma. Missy, I finished crocheting your mouse. Oh, I sent you the directions, right, Elma? I think I did send them out. I'm really stuck right now because I owe Jen and somebody else yarn, and they're all wrapped up and they're all labeled and ready to go, but um, I haven't got them out. They're going out Monday, but I think I've already sent yours. I love God's creatures too, and it just breaks my heart to see a dead deer on the side of the road. Kimmer, do I have your friend Susie on my prayer list? She still needs tons of prayers. You know what? I think so, Kim, because I was looking at it yesterday and I'm going over some things and wondering, is there some I can cross off? Susie, a friend of Kim G's that has bone cancer. She's in the book, Kim. She's in the book. Okay. Thank you for letting me know she still needs prayers. Tons of prayers. Okay, well, we'll get her tons. So all of you, if you keep a prayer list, put Susie on your prayer list, please. Unique, amazing stripes. That's our Faith Louise. And Alma Baylor has a deer that visits every morning. Aren't they beautiful? And they're so their legs are so thin, and they're like ballerinas. They're so unique. Hello, hello, hello. Prayer for God's will is always a hard thing. But you know what, Melanie J? I find that God knows the desires of my heart. And so if I bring a prayer to him, he knows. But I also know that if he answers it according to his will, it'll be even better than begging him to ask him to do it my will. Because I I don't even have a clue. I don't have a clue what's in store for me. You know, it could be the middle of this hour. It could be 10 years from now. I don't know, but God does. So when he answers my prayers, I tell him, if you're in it, I want to be there. And if you're not in this, I don't want any part of it. And that's why I started my channel, because he was in it and he's been behind me. I do like the filet crochet stitch. And I'm so glad to hear you say that, because Sunday we're going to finish up the giraffe, put it all together, and then we're going to start this blanket, which is called the Somebody in the Meadow blanket. And if you have been to Christine Abrams' channel, oh, she is such a lovely lady. She is a believer, and you can tell it in whatever she says. Her face just is so lit up with the love of God. She's awesome. You need to go and check out Christine Abrams. But I was doing this Somebody in the blanket, and she contacted me and said, Miss C, do you have anybody to test your pattern? And I said, no. Would you like to test the pattern? And she said, yes. So I'm so thankful. And here's another God thing. I'm a fudger. And so I'll do things, and if it doesn't work, I'll just stick in an extra stitch or take out a stitch, so I get my count right. I like frogs, but I don't like frogging. I'd rather fudge. Christine is one of those people that every row is counted, every stitch is correct, her edges are even. If there's something not right, she'll work it out. And she got back with me and said, now, how do you want to turn the corners? Do you want to do chain one, or do you want to do a stack? And so we were able to work it out and get a pattern written, which she uses patterns. I fudge. Okay, if I want a blanket to be a certain length, I know that with a certain needle I can cast on a certain number, and I'm going to get the width. Oh, it's now 8 blankets that KK has to do, and 4 of them are done. Yeah, I thought I had the 4 right. But a couple days ago, Christine had the blanket completed and a bunny to go with it. And she did it in, I think, white or off-white. And then she took a different color and put the color in the border. Oh my gosh, it is so pretty. You need to go and look. And she made a bunny out of the same color. So she did the bunny body the same color as the blanket, and then the ears and the arms and legs are the same color as the border. It is so stinking cute. I love it. And she's also done the gumball blanket for the children's home and a bunny to go with that. So she is on the move, that girl. So if you get a chance, go over and see that. Planning this summer's cleaning schedule, then working on a mosaic blanket for someone's birthday. A summer cleaning schedule, Penny. Is that for your yarn room, for your house, for cleaning other people's homes? Like, KK, you're so funny. I was singing you the song about Tony Chestnut and his sister Eileen. Eileen. And then there's Russell and Pat. Okay, my Tunisian bear is almost done. Oh, Shirley. I really working on a sheep right now, blackface sheep. And I was thinking, I wonder if I did a moss stitch body, or if I did that the star around the belly, or did the whole thing in the star stitch, or used a different stitch for it. And then I say to myself, stop that. You just need to get through the pages and then you can play. She's home on hospice now. Oh, Kim, that's not so good. That's not so good. So let's not stop the prayers for healing, but let's include peace, inner peace, and contentment, and not much pain. Okay, Alma, I did. Oh, I sent the. Oh my. Well, I was generous that day. Well, good. Did it come out like you wanted to? Crochet Cabinets. Kimmy. Yes. Hello, Kimmy. And there's my sister Susie. You're too late, Sister Susie. KK said a blanket hello to everybody, but she's working on corner to corner blankets, so it was kind of like a double entendre. But we'll accept yours too. Besides you and in front of you, he's always with us. You betcha. He's near in my heart. I don't see Mimi. Oh, Tammy will pop up. She's been having some headaches. Need more coffee. KK, that's the problem. I think I'm going to be done by the end of June, and then I get 3 more bunnies added to my list. They just hop on there. I swear they do. Working on a blanket, Faith is. It was 6, but I added one for Project Linus and one for your adopted brother. Oh, that's awesome. House. I'm catching up during the summer. I don't go into the office very much because Mr. Elmo is he's not a semi hoarder, he's a full-blown hoarder, and I my balance isn't that good to walk between the boxes and the papers and stuff. Sometimes you have to do that, Susie. Yeah. You know Tony Chestnut? Yeah. If you've taught children, you know Tony Chestnut. Well, you know what, Kimmy? If you really have that desire, there will be someone at some time come on and do a tutorial on how to cast on and how to knit, and I don't know who it's going to be for you, but when you find it, it will just you'll think, "Oh, what was so hard before?" But it will be the right person that does it the right way that gets to your brain and that you can understand. Penny, do you watch MDL, Michael? He teaches mosaic and he's got all kinds of different stitches on there. He's wonderful. Oh, thank you, Penny. Bunnies do multiply. That's right. We rescue yarn, especially those trapped in stores that are so worthless that they've been marked down so low. You have to adopt them, right? You can't leave them there on the shelf. Yeah, he is awesome. Um, I adopted him. He's mine. He and Nino are mine. And they come home every Sunday and visit me, and I'm so thankful for that. Sometimes, well, Nino popped in earlier, but Michael's so busy sometimes he just can't. Oh, Sister Susie, you are constantly on my prayer list, sweetheart. Okay, I have um turned my cameras around and moved my laptop closer to me so that I can read the chat. But I'm going to switch over to the other camera so that I can do my knitting, because this is a sit and knit. So I'll be able to sit and knit with you and chat at the same time, which will be absolutely wunderbar, wunderbar. I'm glad you're feeling good today. I worry about you. All right, I'm switching over to the other camera. And now you should be able to see my hands in my lap. Okay. So I'm going to sit here and chat with you while I'm working on my blanketta. And this is a mess because I'm backwards, right? Okay. Well, what am I doing here? Well, I was right. All right. This is the blanket that I'm doing. Out of the bloom. And it makes these pretty little rosettes, or whatever you want to call them. And because I'm purling, I'm purling on a knit row, it makes it textured. So I'm really enjoying this. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yes, he will. Yes, he will, Kimmy. I think it's awful pretty, Melanie J. It's going to go to somebody. It will go to someone. And if I have enough left over when the blanket is through, I will make a bunny. Otherwise, I will do the I'll just do it out of cream. Okay, had a phone call. I hope it was a positive one. Oh, there's Cliff peeking in. Hello, Cliff. Cliff is such a love. Cliff, we're just sitting and knitting. And I know you don't knit, but you can see what's on my arm. A gift from you and a gift from Michael and Nino. I love these things. They've never come off. Now I could not get them on, and Elmo tried to help me with it, and it just didn't reach. So we got an extender. So I put an extender on each one, and then I hooked the two together. So that's what that's all about. But I love them, and they've not come off since I got them. And everybody says, "Where did you get those?" And I said, "Oh, my friend Cliff made them for me." And then I show them your card, and they do a screenshot. So hopefully you will have. I got to back up, don't I? There's Demi, the naked snail. It's not naked anymore because she has a hat and coat. And Marianne is here. I hope you're keeping cool in this hot weather. No pouncing, Tank. It's too hot today. I can send more rings if you'd like. Cliff, I wouldn't know how to put them together, and this is working just fine. I had thought to send them back to you, and I thought, no, if I send them back, he's going to think I don't appreciate them. So, you're not getting them back. They're mine. I know how to knit a little, but it doesn't go fast enough for me, so I'm going to make a sun bunny for a friend. Well, Nellie, if you wanted to make a blanket, you could always come, well, not this Sunday, but next Sunday, week after. The first Sunday in July, we are going to start the Sun Bunny in the Meadow blanket. And it's real simple. There's my Bonnie. You know what I think it was, Cliff? I measured this arm, but I wear it on this one. So that might have made a difference, a 1/4 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch difference that put it off. I don't know. It doesn't matter. They're beautiful, and I get so many compliments on them, and I love them. So good, Bonnie. I hope you're taking a rest today. Lunch hour here with us. I love it when you guys come in and kick your shoes off and just take a deep breath and rest. It's like I'm glad when the deer and the animals come in the yard because they know they're safe in the yard here at the home, and that makes me feel good that I can have a safe haven for them. And it makes me feel good when you guys come in, kick off your shoes, and rest because that's makes me feel like I've provided a safe haven for you guys for an hour. And Denisha's here. I love that girl. Denisha got married last week, and I am just so happy for her. I am happy for her because she is happy. And there's Dolly. Hello, Sweet Pea and Arrow Lover. Margie, welcome in. And Regina Layfield, welcome in, Regina. Just talking about having a nice 1 hour rest where you don't have to answer the phone. You don't have to worry about bills or cooking lunch or supper or anything. You just come in, rest, soak up the love, and then be on your way. Just for 1 hour, you are free from all of the cares in life. Denise Lee is here. Welcome, Denise. Denise Lee. Wait, I need to check something because that name is popping out. Popping out. I'll tell you what a hoarder is. Where did we go? Oh, we went to Sam's Club. And while we were there, Elmo said, "You're going to miss lunch at the home, so I'm going to buy you a hot dog and a soda," which is like the cheapest thing that you can buy at Sam's Club. So we get a hot dog and a soda, and I don't very often drink sodas, but they had Dr. Pepper. It's one of my favorites, and I usually only get a Dr. Pepper when I get tacos or something. But he refuses to take me through the taco drive-through. But he comes back with like 6 straws. He says, "Put these in your purse." You know, like, you are such a hoarder. We have a basket full of straws. There must be 100. Well, 100 come in a box. There must be 500 straws in the basket. You know what, Bonnie? Those I don't eat hot dogs because uh, when I got my divorce from my first husband, I went to Put-in-Bay, which is out in Lake Erie, on the 4th of July weekend, and I had a wonderful time with the girlfriend. She had a son, and I had a son, and our family watched our children so that we could. We had just finished our divorces and we needed a break. So we both went together out to the island and had a uh, wonderful weekend. We took a bag of apples and a 6 pack of Slim Fast. And somebody gave us a package of, because they were heading back to land, they gave us a package of hot dogs. And we started a fire in a little circular stone pit and we roasted those hot dogs on the ends of sticks. I'm telling you guys, those hot dogs were the best hot dogs I had ever eaten. I told my friend Linda, these must have magic in them because they just taste so good. And I don't like hot dogs. Well, I got the paper, the wrapper, and it said, all the usual things. But the magic ingredient that I found in that, I'm almost afraid to tell you. It was ox lips. Ox lips. The lips of an ox. And I have not eaten hot dogs since that time until I came here to the home. And if you're hungry and you want to eat something and they're fixing hot dogs for lunch, you eat hot dogs. But um, I told Mr. Elmo, if we had hot dogs like these at the home, I would eat them because Sam's Club hot dogs are pretty good, and I don't know what kind they use, but they're pretty good. Yeah, ox lips. Well, now, Susie, they didn't say that. They didn't say that. Oh, Cliff. Oh, I don't think you're supposed to do that. Oh, my word. But they're not bad for one meal replacement. They tasted of freedom. That must have been what it was, Demi, because they did taste so good. And we've been on a bike ride around the island, which is a very nice thing to do if you get a chance. Is take a bicycle ride around Put-in-Bay. Um, but anyway, we had been on a bike ride, and we'd had a full day, and that fresh air and the sunshine and the water, and it was a lot of freedom, a lot of no more stress, no more hassle, and which actually never, divorce never ends the hassle. It's just the beginning of a hassle, a lifelong hassle. But that particular husband um, passed away at the beginning of the year from Parkinson's, and I was very sad to hear that. I was very sad to hear that. He had um, he had been in Vietnam, and he'd just come back from his second tour of Vietnam. Of course, we didn't know anything about the stress on those young boys. And that was the 60s, and everything was about feeling. If it feels good, do it. And um, how are you feeling today? And I'm not judging people who work on feelings, but you do have to deal in facts. And he was a sensitive man to begin with, and he just wasn't able to deal with everything that he'd seen and was called on to do. And of course, we did not know anything about PTSD at that time. And his outbursts got worse and worse. And when they began to affect our son, I needed to leave. I couldn't. I think I told you before. I made my bed and I thought I was going to lie in it, but I couldn't allow that. He, my son didn't ask. Our son didn't ask for anything. So, and he was 5. He didn't know. So that was the end of that one. But there were a lot of things that I was free from at that point. Ah, there's my Zach man. Hello, Zach. How are you doing today? Yeah, a lot of people say that. I've seen how hot dogs are made and I'm not going to eat them anymore. Well, you know what? I think they're just one of those things. If they taste good, you eat them. If they don't taste good, you don't eat them. It is what it is. Oh, I have never been a big fan of bologna, but I'll tell you this, I love souse or head cheese. So I don't know. But I eat beef tongue and I eat liver, calf's liver, and I eat calf's brains. I did. They don't sell them anymore, but I would have calf's brains and scrambled eggs because growing up we never wasted anything. You just if it was food, you never wasted it because you didn't know whether you'd get more. My bologna has a first name. It's Oscar. My bologna has a second name. It's Meyer. And if you ask me why, I say something, something. I eat it every day because Bologna is something. Oscar Mayer. Oh, heck. You guys know it. I don't. Head cheese. No, thank you. Oh, I do like head cheese. My grandmother was German, and I love tongue. I can eat it warm. I can eat it cold. I can eat it in sandwiches. I can just pick up a slice on my way by the counter and mm-mm-mm. Yeah, Cliff, you're pretty easy. You've been married to what, 3 or 4 of us now on YouTube already? Hello, my Dory Doodles. Because Oscar Mayer has a way with Bologna. That's right. Thank you, Cliff. You're German too. Yeah, I have German on my mother's German and let's see, German and Scottish on my mother's side, and Scottish and English Mennonite on my father's side. So I guess that's Swiss or German. Tongue's pretty good. You know what? I went to price a tongue the other day and it was at Walmart and it was $35. I was so excited to see a whole tongue on sale. Well, not on sale, but in the mar in the meat department. And I went up and I grabbed it and I said, $35. You gotta be kidding me. There's no way I can afford that.
I can't hear you. Drop down and come back up. Nope, didn't work. How's everybody doing? I got a mouthful of food. She turned it off somehow. You're still not I can't hear you. Maybe I gotta turn you up. Hold on, let me see. Let me check to see if I have food in my mouth. Okay, I'm here. Can you guys see me? Hello? Hello, everybody. She's clipped. Yeah, she clipped her sound for sure. So whenever she comes back, I should be able to see. I'm on lunch right now. And I was gonna make a pickle, but how's everybody doing? Wow, I just took over her live. Can you guys hear me okay? Because it is set up to my car speaker. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Penny. Oh, thank you. This is Sean's. This is Spring's Witching on Dandelions. Loud and clear. Okay. And so there she is. Pop yourself up. Do I have to do it? Say something. I don't know if my sound is connected to my car or not. Say something, Missy. I can't hear you on here. Okay, you can't hear it either. But you guys can hear me though, right?
Okay, you should
There
be able,
you are.
yeah, be able to hear me now.
Yeah.
I have no clue why this happens. Well, I do. I moved my laptop and something happens. I don't know what it is. Something disconnects or loosens up maybe.
Yeah, you unplugged something.
Well, nothing's unplugged, but I think it just got jiggled enough to loosen up and whatever.
Okay.
Are we supposed to give something away, Sanita?
Today, no, because I don't have my laptop.
Okay, today no. Okay. I didn't think we did. Today was just kind of like sit and chill.
Yeah.
Are
Well,
you
now,
sitting and chilling?
yeah, I'm sitting chilling. I just scarfed down a gyro while you guys talking about hot.
Oh man, my favorite food.
Yeah. So yeah, I had that, but it was a huge plate full, so I only took half, and I left the rest in the office. So you guys help yourself.
Stick it in an envelope and mail it down to me. It's probably a good one. Oh,
Yeah.
there's Yarn Doll. Thank you, sweetheart. I
All
love
right.
you too.
I will let you get back to your show, and I'm gonna watch you from the back.
Okay. Thanks, Anita, for all you do. Did you get your package?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Thank
You
you.
probably told me you did, and I've walked through a doorway and forgotten.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Okay.
I'll see you guys later.
Love you.
Love you too.
Okay. So I'm not going to move it anymore. I'm going to move my chair, and I'm not going to move the. I'm going to move my chair up so I can read the chat, because even though I have my good eyes on, um, they're getting older. All right, let's see. Thank you for coming up, Sunita. Yes, she is really, really, she's special. I don't know what I would do without her. Well, I don't know what I would do without any of you on a daily basis. You bring so much joy to my life. And Sunita is not only brings joy to my life, but she is such a help when I get stuck with stuff. She's the one that made my countdown. She's the one that made my little intro with the Sun Bunny. She's the one that made the outro. She's done so many wonderful things for me. I just knit two, but now I'm going to purl because these are colored. So I'm going to purl those so that they come forward and become knobs on the front. And then I'll knit the rest until I get to more colored ones. And then I'm going to purl those so that they come forward and show up texture on the front. I don't know if I'm doing it correctly, but I just know that I like how it looks. And so I'm going to continue. I know there is a way to do it that makes them really stand out, but for the life of me, I don't know what that is. If you do, I'd like to find out. Oh, you leaving? All right, sweetheart. Margie, thanks for coming in. I know you are, sweetheart. You're just about in everybody's. Samita has made the outro in a super chat. Thanks for you. She is so helpful. I think she likes to do those things. I think she enjoys putting those things together. Um, it really probably doesn't matter to her who they go to specifically. Just the fact doing them makes her happy. Just like making somebody's makes me happy. Whoever they go, excuse me, whoever they go to, just making them makes me happy. I'm your gag gift or punishment, depending on the day. No, you are not. You're in my heart every day, Cliff. In fact, I sleep with you every night. You and Michael and Panda. I probably shouldn't say that. People would get the wrong opinion. Oh, you were saying goodbye to Sunita. Okay, well, whew, I'm glad of that. I mean, I'm not glad you said goodbye. I'm just glad that you're not leaving. No, you're not heartburn either. You are in my heart, but not as a heartburn. Although you do keep the light going. Cliff, you are one special person. I don't know if you know that. And I don't think you have a bunny yet, do you? That's probably why you don't know how special you are. You don't have a somebody to tell you how special you are. We got 3 minutes, guys. This hour went by quickly. I probably could stay on a little longer because this morning when I popped in, or this afternoon when I popped in, uh, StreamYard notified me that I had used up 14 hours and that it doesn't renew until tomorrow. I have 20. They give me 20 hours. So, even if I stayed on 4 hours today, I still wouldn't use it all up because I start a new day on Sunday. But Cliff, guess what I have right here? Box of tissues. They're always right here because I never know what's coming, and I never know when I'm going to tear up because you guys make me tear up. You start out, and one day I will read you my life story. It's called I Am What I Am, and That's All What I Am. And I had to do it for one of the college classes because the teacher wanted us to actually write a paper because that's part of the Pell Grant. You have to write so many words. And she also wanted to know what type of students she was dealing with in her class. So it was one of the first assignments that we did during that 13 weeks. And when I got my paper back, I got an A on it, and she said something about proving that I was exactly who she thought I was. And I think we'd been in the class for maybe 1 week, so she did know basically our names and our faces and how we reacted in the classroom interacted with her and the other students. So she had a basic knowledge of most of us. And there's probably about 20 people, 25 people in the class, maybe. I don't know. It wasn't small class, but it wasn't a huge class either. So she did have time to know each one of us. But when she read mine, she said, you're who I thought that I thought you were. And I found it the other day. I don't know why, but I found it the other day. One day I'll read it to you. And maybe that's why I like to make the stories with the somebodies, because God tells me who each one of you are and what each one of you needs. And I think I told you that Spring has a somebody. Jax has a somebody named Polly. And Russ has a somebody. And it was really funny to see all three of them this morning. But I think it was from last week. Anyway, if you want to check it out, it's about in the middle of their live. Spring had already left when Jax and Russ began talking about their somebodies, and Russ didn't even realize what he had or remember where it came from. So I knew I hadn't made a big impression on him, but at the time, he was going through some really rough things. And at the time, I just felt in my heart that he needed to know that somebody loved him. So I made it for him and sent it to him with his story. I guess it didn't make too big of an impression. I don't know. But at that time, he was one of the first ones, and I don't think he um, truly understood the value of the somebodies and the magic that they can work in a person's life through God's love. And I claim no credit for the change in people's lives when they receive a somebody. It's a God thing, and I'm just thankful that He is able to use these old fingers to help him. In the Bible, He used ordinary people. Moses stuttered, and God said, "I want you to take my people out of Egypt." And He's like, "But God, I can't talk." He said, "Sorry, guy, you're the man. Get Aaron to do your talking, your brother Aaron, but you're the one." And God did it. And Moses did it with God. And that's why the Bible says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can't do anything on my own but get into big trouble. And pretty much y'all have been there. Big trouble. Oops. Okay. My time is up, guys. I love you. I love you so much, Cliff. Hello, Spring. We were just talking about you with on the chat that you did with Russ and Jax. Soon after you left, they brought out their Sun Bunnies. And I don't think Russ realized what he had until Jax just chatted it up. And then, of course, the chat blew up with, oh, I have a somebody, oh, blah, 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 blah. And I probably should go, guys. I know I have some extra time, but how are you guys doing for time? Should I do another half an hour or finish out the half hour? Or is there somebody else on? Does somebody come on after me on Fridays at 1 o'clock? Because I don't want to take somebody else's time. I know you do, Spring. You know, I did not make Rachel a somebody. I made her a somebody. Rachel loves frogs, so I made her a frog. And if I remember correctly, I made I made the mouth and then like made lips and then stitched it back and then left a hole and I put pink in there and crocheted probably about, I don't know, maybe 3-4 inch tongue and crammed it in that hole. So when when Rachel gets upset with Spring, she can pull that tongue out and go. Okay, Sanita says I still have 26 minutes of lunch. Stay. Michelle's good. Finish the round and on. And then heading out shopping. Ooh, where are you going? And Faith left her support unicorn at her parents'. I'm glad when you share the love. Did she like it, Spring? Rachel is so cool. She's just so matter of fact. She needed a somebody in her life. More time with Oma. Okay, more time to finish your cloth. Okay, I'll sit here with you for another. It says 25 here, so another 25 minutes or so. I'm your body double. Oh, sweetheart, you have a terrible body. It's sagging and wrinkled and falling apart, and the joints don't work well anymore. You know, if I was the Velveteen Rabbit, I truly would have been loved my whole life because all my fur is rubbing off and just another stitch. Just another stitch. Just another stitch. And I think I get her mixed up with Maureen. T and C. Just another stitch is Connie. Yeah, Connie's from Louisiana and she pronounces her name Connie. She doesn't think so, but I can hear that and I love it. Connie. When Elmo says the state Connecticut, he says it differently. And I crack up every time he says it. What? Connecticut. I don't know how he does it, but his accent is a little different. The accent on the syllables is different, and he puts an E in there, not Connecticut, it's Connecticut. It's just so funny, cracks me up. We're just sitting and knitting today, relaxing and enjoying the beautiful day. You know, having Elmo run the home, um, oh, I guess we have inspections every once in a while, and people come down and make sure everything's being done correctly. But Elmo, he's ex-military, and I can't tell you any more about his past life. Uh, one, because I don't know it all, and two, I wouldn't be able to tell you if I did know it all. So I do know that on occasion he has bent the rules, and one of the rules that he has bent is on a nice evening, he'll wheel us all out on the deck and bring out a tray of screwdrivers. Now, I know they're not probably really strong because, you know, none of us fall over in our chairs, but um, I think just the thought of having a screwdriver in the evening out on the deck as the sun goes down, it's invigorating, it's exciting, and we all laugh and talk and giggle and just have a great old time. And oh yeah, Connie's husband's called the Biscuit. I'd forgotten about that. Biscuit. Anyway, it's nice when he does that. He doesn't do it often, but and sometimes we go out in the mornings and we'll have a glass of iced tea before lunch. But I I think he puts something in it, but it's not like a Long Island iced tea that's got alcohol in it. But most of the ladies don't know what's going on most of the time. They don't care. It's just nice to get out and everybody has their own room and you just can't pop in and out. But when you're out in a social setting like that, and it's different from the great room. When you're out on the deck, there's the birds and the squirrels and the butterflies and the dragonflies, and it's just freeing. And it makes you forget that you're in your 70s or your 80s or getting older, not as able to do the things that you used to be able to do. I mean, you can just sit there and sip and dream, and it's very nice. It's raining. Aw. Do you get to go home early today, Sunita, because it's Friday, or are you just going home because it's raining? Sugar here. There's my sugar. Welcome in. Dream on. Dream on. Da 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 da. Is that the one? Step away for a phone call. Welcome back, KK. Cecilia, welcome in. Spring, I guess this is throwing, right? No, you wish it was quitting time. Oh, but you live close to where you work, so you can go home. if you need to. Shirley Baines says, my grandson just came in, looked at the screen, looked at my hands, and then looked again and mimicked knitting. Yes, yes, we are knitting. That boy's smart. Working on a granny square afghan. All right. You know, those grannies are probably one of the oldest. That and the ripple are the two that I remember growing up. And yet they are still so popular. And there are so many different kinds of ways to make a granny square now. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. You can do a spiked granny, and those are absolutely beautiful. Um, Juan puts twins in a stitch in a granny. You can put cross stitches. You can put star stitches in a granny. That's what gave me the idea to maybe put some pattern stitches in the body of the bunny. Cabin, KK, Arrow Lover, Sugar Diamond, Yarn Doll. Darn y'all, my Dolly. That's why I call her Dolly. Well, we've done a yeoman's job on this. I also have a knitted blanket going that is knit 2, purl 2 all the way across for 2 rows. And then you purl 2, knit 2. So you get these little boxes and it looks like a basket weave. I have a pink one which I have run out of yarn. I'm going to have to find some more. And I have a white one that I'm doing with Pound of Love. I have found that Pound of Love, or the DK version, is Snuggly Wuggly or something like that. That makes a nice size blanket. One ball of yarn, one skein of yarn makes a very nice size baby blanket. Now, my sister-in-law does more knitting than crocheting, and she likes to make blankets that are 36 by 40 or something big like that. I like blankets that are more like 24 by 36, or granny squares that are 30 by 30, no more than 40 by 40. I would much prefer, and I don't know if it's laziness or I just prefer smaller ones. I don't throw. I don't know. You still have to take it off. I wish I could do it where my yarn was over here on this hand, like I do crochet. I never learned to do that. When I learned to crochet, this needle was under my arm, and it was held by my arm, my elbow, and it never moved. And everything was done off of this needle. Push it back. This one never moved. You push down, wrapped it around, you pulled up and off, but this never moved. And I know I have seen things on Irish knitting And a lot of times you'll see pictures of the Irish women with the needle under their right arm, holding it in position and doing all the crocheting with or the knitting with their left. Shirley, you hold it under your arm. I hope I can remember what you're doing there because that would really help my carpal tunnel and knit it. Yes. Oh, KK, you have to love that girl. She doesn't care for amigurumi um, because she doesn't like the sewing involved because it hurts her hands, which I can understand that. She doesn't knit, but she makes the most beautiful corner to corner, intricate. Um, I forget what they call those, but they've got designs in them and they're absolutely beautiful. And a couple years ago, someone came out with a blanket, a Christmas blanket, where all the squares were, now I have to fix this, all the squares were a different design. One was an elf, one was a tree, one was Santa, one was a snowman, one was a stocking, one was a star. I think there were 12 different Christmas symbols. And my sister-in-law and I started on them, and before we ever finished that first square, we are already taken the rest of the yarn colors out of the project bag, put them back up on the shelf because we weren't going to do any more. It was just absolutely impossible. So I've never done any of that. Jennifer says, in knitting, I throw with my right hand, but in crochet, I use my left. I do too. In crocheting, I crochet with my left hand. Grafkins. Yes, thank you, KK. That's what it is, a grafkin. And she's expert at them. They're beautiful. She did one with a deer on it, and it had antlers. And I'm like, I am not going to put in one stitch of a different color to make a branch of an antler. No way. If my blanket's got designs in it, it's because they colored the yarn that color, not anything I did. I know, Dolly, and you and Jerry both are making so many. 7 somebodies. Now, Dolly, are some of those going to the children's home in Colorado, or are you making these for family, or are you just loving them and keeping them? Continental. I guess I'm going to have to look that one up. Is that where you do this with this hand? I don't know that I could. Is it like hook? Is that continental? Where you hook it? Is that continental? Eileen. That is continental. Okay. Well, I guess I can do it. It's just not, I'm not as quick doing this because I'm not used to it. I don't know how my tension's going to be. And I really need a hook on this end. Or maybe I should do like Michael does. Michael has this come right over the top of his finger. So it's, oh, that's a little bit easier rather than holding a finger out. Oh, that's not so bad. Does this look right, guys? Now I wonder how my tension's going to be with this one. Oops. I'll be over there. I try to avoid tension. Well, no, that's not true, Cliff. If you think about it, you have to have the correct tension on each one of those rings that you put in. I love bologna with cheese and crushed potato chips on bread. Well, I'd have to think about that. I know a girl who used to eat green bananas and mayonnaise sandwiches. You don't hold your finger out like that. You hold your finger tight. Michael has a ridge across the top of his finger for the way that he holds his. Wow. Well, I think this could be accomplished easily with a little practice and a little confidence and a little luck. Irish and Cherokee. Sandwich. I love grilled cheese sandwiches. With chips on the sandwich. I don't know. I've never tried it, but I guess it would be like replacing the lettuce would make the crunch. I'll have to try that. I do like potato chips. You know, that's funny. Growing up, I never liked, well, I can't say never. I like potato chips at home. But after I got out and about, I didn't like potato chips. I liked, you see, I have to do this off of this finger and hold this one out. That's easier for me. I can capture it there, she said as she tried to capture it there and dropped a stitch. Okay, we got 5 more minutes and then I do have to go, guys. But I like Pringles. Oh, I just fell in love with Pringles. They just were so good. But you know, Pringles have sugar in them. The correct way. Thank you, Melanie J. I guess that's why, because I am addicted to sugar. I will eat sugar on anything. And Kinder's question of the day was, would you rather eat ketchup on your ice cream or sugar on your pizza? And my comment was pretty much anything is good on ice cream. Kahlua is good. Benedictine is good. Um, something Galliano's not too bad on it. Honey is very good on ice cream. Ketchup, I don't eat ketchup. So I would not eat ketchup on my ice cream. I would not ruin my ice cream. But I figured I could put a little sugar on my pizza because I'm so addicted to sugar. I really have to be careful because if I get hungry, I mean, there's always snacks around the home here. There's cookies or there's muffins or Elmo's real big on orange slices. Orange, you know, the orange slices and the green wintergreen slices, the chewy candies that are sugared. Oh, I could eat a handful of those, and they're so bad for me because one, I overload on sugar and then I get tired, and then when I wake up I'm real groggy and grumpy, and the other thing is nobody needs to eat that much sugar. Who? Subject, cha-ching. If I eat, I won't get nothing accomplished. Say you hate me without saying you hate me. But I can't hate you because I love you. Oh, you know what, Michelle? Those peach gummy rings are yummy. I found some one day that I had gone to my niece's house in Orrville, Ohio. She lives in Worcester, just outside of Orrville. And well, she lives in Orrville, which is just outside of Worcester, I guess. But Orrville is the place where the Smucker's factory is, and her son-in-law worked at Smucker's, and that whole county is I can't think of the name of the county right now that she lives in, but it's mostly Amish people. There are a lot of Amish in that county, and whenever you go through there, it starts with an H. Somebody help me here. Anyway, I went into an Amish store. I would eat it here. I would eat it there. I would eat ice cream anywhere. I would eat it in a box. I would eat it with a fox. I would eat it with a mouse. I would eat it in a house. I would eat it with a goat, and I would eat it on a boat. I would eat ice cream anywhere. And that's your thought for the day. I need to go also because it's 1:29 and I do need to get off of here. I love you all so much for coming in and joining me today. You make my day, and you've given me enough love and enough smiles to last me over till Sunday at 12. So you you stay safe. May God hold you in the palm of his hand until I see you on Sunday. And bless somebody today with a smile. I love you very much. Bye, guys.